Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. I'm Paula from MoxyMojo. Thank you for joining me for Dephemerember 2024. Today is the 19th of December and our prompt is paper bag handle and slow stitching. Hence this pile here. Now, I know from some of the videos that certainly Barbara has shown, this is the kind of paper bag handle that or at least she's used to. And to be honest, I'd not seen them until recently in person. We don't generally get them, and maybe it's just the places that I'm shopping at. These tend to be our shopping bag handles. It could be just that most of my shopping is grocery shopping, and these are the handles on our supermarket shopping bags. So I'm going to use these ones rather than these because this is what I've got the multitudes of. So I've pulled these off the bags, and all I'm doing at the moment is just cutting off the glued bit, because wherever that went to, this bit I just simply haven't been able to rescue. It is just too caked in glue to even attempt to try and recover. So I'm just cutting that off. It still leaves me with a fair bit of a paper bag handle to play with. So the next thing is to untwist them, and this requires a little bit of patience. And they kind of look like corn husks when you pull them off, but the texture is actually kind of cool. So that's the first one. So I pulled this apart and I've been kind of contemplating for a wee bit how I was going to use them. So let's just move these out of the way. And then I came up with the idea of, well, let's sew them together to make an envelope, because I haven't made an envelope in any of my ephemera so far. So that might be quite a cool idea. And then I thought, well, this has got quite a cool texture. Is there anything else I've got that can be added to the texture? And I came up with quite a few different items. So here's another couple that I've pulled apart. And then some of these are from the scraps that Tanya sent me. Some is from my own stash. This is packaging paper. So it's brown paper that has been cut, and when you pull it apart, it turns into this honeycomb design. I don't know if that's what it's called, honeycomb paper or honeycomb cut, but I thought it was really cool. And I've had some in my stash for a while, and I've been wondering how I could actually use it but without creating too much bulk. So I thought, Oh, here's a way of trying it. I've got some textured vellum, I think this is, or tracing paper. This is a Gloria Jean's coffee mug, I think it is, or coffee sleeve at least, but it's got a really cool wavy texture, and I've wanted to use this on a couple of prompts, and I've been holding back because I've also had this in mind. I do have some Hessian, and although it's what I'd call technically a fabric, because the weave is so far apart, I thought that would be really cool to try. I've got a doily with, of course, the holes. I've got, this is the, like the coated paper off a, I think it's coconut milk bottle, or coconut water, sorry, like Tetra Pak. I've got some, now these are tea bags, and these are the tea bags for some iced tea that I drink. So it's like a, it's almost like a silk or a taffeta type fabric, that was probably like a polyester, but I thought, well, okay, that would be quite interesting to include. I don't know whether this will work or not. This is some Easter egg foil that Tanya sent me. I do have some tissue paper that Tanya sent me, and some decorative tissue, and different, like multiple different prints. This is another piece of vellum, and then this is something from my stash. It's actually something I bought on Temu, and it's what was called cicada leaf paper, and I think that is more of a description of how transparent and lightweight it is. I mean, it feels like a tissue paper, only almost thinner, and you can see how transparent that is with me just holding my hand underneath. So I thought this might make the ideal base for me to sew everything onto, but who knows. So I'll just shift everything aside for the moment. So we've got this. So now I did try, now this one I've actually dyed with tea and coffee dye. I just wanted to see, or tea and coffee water. I just wanted to see what would happen, and it did colour it slightly. I did test whether it tears, and you can tear this paper, so it is a little fragile, so I'm not sure if this idea is going to work or not, but I do like the idea of an envelope created out of this. And maybe what I need to do is double it up and just do a couple of small envelopes, but I think that kind of defeats the purpose, so I want to try just giving it a go. So how big do we want this? So if we say, because I've got to bear in mind how big is my journal. Now I've got some so this is a coin envelope, And so I mean, I wouldn't want to go much bigger than that. This one here is, yeah, that size I think would be too big. So coin envelope size it is. So that's my guide. So if this is our size, we can go, so I'd take this down a wee bit smaller. And I'm just going to do a very simple rectangle style for my envelope. I'm not going to get into triangle points or anything like that. So that looks pretty good, maybe even slightly less than that. Maybe there. So yep, let's make a decision. So that's our sort of back, and then if we just fold that over there, that's our front done, and then we need a flap. So now I'm just going to get these scissors here just because I've got a longer blade, and if we, I mean that gives me a good inch fold over. I don't know how straight I'm cutting this because I'm on a weird angle. What am I saying? What am I talking about? But yeah, that's gonna do. And then we've got a little bit left over for the scrap pile. So we need a little bit of fold over. So if we leave this at almost this same length, and then that'll give me plenty of fold over for my side seams. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to sew this as a single sheet and then fold over there. I'm using black embroidery thread. So it's going to have like a, kind of like a Frankenstein, kind of really obvious stitched look to it, which is kind of cool. I like the idea of that. So first things first is let's find the end of the thread. In which case we might be here for, oh no, there we go, look at that, that was easy. I was going to say we might be here for a while. 1, 2, that'll do I think. I don't want it too long. And how many threads are we going to use? I want it to stand out. So maybe 2, I think. 2 or 3. Now, if you're not a hand sewer, one thing I have learned is, and you're going to use embroidery thread or part of it, like the skein, is always pull your threads off because it helps to stop them from tangling. So don't like separate your threads and then bring them back together. So that's 2. And then our third one, because there's normally 6 in your general embroidery thread. So that's 3. And then I will put this somewhere safe for the next lot, I'm going to grab the end of one, straighten it, grab the end of the second one, and straighten the two of them together, and that's where you find out if you've got any knots at all. I'm going to thread my needle. I'm probably going to make the knots a bit of a feature in this, so the knots and the sewing is going to be visible. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to cheat a little bit, and that I'm going to stick this paper on, and, or at least we're going to try to stick the paper on. We're going to kind of glue that like that and hope for the best, because I don't have any idea what I'm doing or how this is going to work. And then we're going to just attach that down. I don't know how much the glue is going to come through. Alright, so now I'm going to put down a second strip of this, and then that will give me basically the height that I need for the flap. And I'm lining up with my fold. And again, flip it over and another trim. I've got this first seam here, and so we'll put the pin back in the glue for now. And so now I'm going to, first of all, tie a great big knot in my thread. Because like I said, I want it to look kind of obvious as to what I've done. And normally I end up with tails sticking out, but not today. Okay. So now I'm going to, generally when you're sewing, you want to hide the knots. But for this, because I want to make it obvious, and I'm just trying to work out which way do I normally sew, which is going to be the easiest way, and I think it's going to be sew like this. So I'm going to push my needle through and see how we go. Yep. And then back up. So we're good there. We're tied up in knots again. So now I'm going to do a really rough, really obvious stitch across here. Okay, so I think I am just about finished sewing. I wonder if I should do something with that. I'm going to do like a rolled edge. But then, that would be that. And then I just need to sew up, fold over the sides. Because I don't know if it's going to fit otherwise. So no, I'm going to leave that edge for now. So I just need to sew up the side seams. And what? So do I want to glue them first? Yes, possibly. So let's do that first. And then I may need some bulldog clips to just hold them closed. That's one. That's two. My glue, which I needed to resurrect because I left the pin out. Alright, so now we are folding it up. Press and hold. Sorry, I should have done that first. 1, 2, 3, maybe 6. So we're going to, where's that pocket end? I can't tell there. So 1, so we just need 2 each side. Awesome. Okay, so and then that'll fold over, and we might just trim. If I do that now, that's 1. Oh, now that's got our big loop over it. Oh well, I guess the loop is coming off. That was where I glued it. Oh well, the thought was there. And that one needs to go about there. So we're looking at from there. I don't know how even they are. I'm not going to worry about it, that's for sure. So there we go. Cool. That one's the firmer side. I will sew this side first, I think, because this is like pretty much, although it has got the burlap there. So we are going to start on here, which will be the front. So the knot will be on the front. Actually, I might do a blanket stitch. Okay, so there is our envelope. Now, she doesn't seal very well. She's not going to keep you yeah, it was a he needle, that's right. The envelope, is not going to keep your letter particularly safe, but it's certainly going to be the start of an interesting communication. Okay, so I need what I need is, I think, paper clips maybe. Let's start with a page. We could put you into like a tuck spot, but I don't know. Oh no, you'll fit in there. So we've got that tuck spot, or the tuck spot in the other one is here. So we've got something in there, haven't got anything in this one. So maybe we put you in this one. But I still kind of think you might need to be a little bit more secure. So where is a page that... So maybe on there. Kind of wrapping around there. I think that will... And at some stage I need to find something to go in there. So, not anything there. What else have we got? What have we got in our little wee bundle of... No, that's too wide. I want something that's reasonably firm. Maybe, can we use this dark chocolate wrapper just as something secure, something, dare I say, heavier weight to go in there? So, I mean, the length is okay, perfect in fact. And even the height. So if I just cut this up here, there, got a little wee tear thingy on it, that's quite cute. And for now, I just slide that inside for a little strength. Because, yeah, particularly this top corner is not that strong. If I'm being honest. So I might just leave that like that. I mean, yeah, at some stage I will probably do something with this, but I quite like its weight as it is for now. Okay, right, now she seems to want to naturally fold there. So, and I think that was about where I had her folding anyway. So I'm good with that. So that's now our designated flap folding space. So if I line it up here, now I've bought over some options for paper clips or the equivalent. So we could just do a couple of these and then I need to find some way of decorating them. But yeah, I'm just concerned they might be too tight for the sheer amount of bulk we've got there. I've got these cute music note ones, and because they're in the black, and that holds on, but again it is pretty tight, but that looks okay. Or I found these. Now these were a gift that I got in a Christmas swap that was like New Zealand based here with some fellow scrapbookers, and they're jandals, and well, that's what we call them, also known as thongs or flip-flops. And I just thought, because this kind of reminds me of you know, like a Robinson Crusoe lost on a deserted island type put together letter envelope, maybe that's what I should use. So let's try these, because they're just too adorable, really. So let's shift the music note off. Thank you, my love. And then we want to slide, so that one's going to go that way over and that way over. Now they are actually quite loose, so that might be the way to go. And they're very New Zealand, very Kiwiana, which is a bonus for me. So I'm sorry, music notes, but you're a bit too tight for this project. And the only other thing I've got is some teeny tiny bulldog clips, if I can get into the bag. And these I got from Daiso. They are 20mm clips, and I mean, they'd be able to hold it there, but they're only just on this outer edge, and I suspect they might get knocked off very easily because they're kind of broad. So no, I think we have found our winner, our jandals. Sorry, seaside metal clips. I think they look cool. That looks awesome on there. Yep, so that is my envelope made from shopping bag handles and a plethora of other objects. So now I need to put the date on here, and then she will be done. Or maybe I put it in on here. No, I might try and put it on there. So first, let us check that we have the right date, because we should be on 19 for paper bag handle and slow stitching. Yes, we definitely have that. Right. So we are going to be brave and try to stamp on the paper bag shopping handle. So I'm really kind of pushing this in quite hard. And yeah, we can kind of see it. Or at least I can. That is awesome. I like it. I knew this was going to be a long one because I always oversew, shall we say. And this has been no exception. But to be honest, I needed the relaxation. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just me and my sewing needle and whatever weird paper or the like I could find. And yeah, I love it. I think it looks really awesome. Don't ask me to describe it, but I think it looks awesome. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you didn't mind that everything was kind of done at speed, because I knew that was the only way we were going to get through this, because I didn't want you to miss out on any of the weirdness, shall we say. So, bit of a break for a couple of days, and then we will be on to the big week, the penultimate week before the last couple of days for the month. So thank you for joining me here for this Dephemerember 2024 prompt. I will see you in a couple of days back in the studio. Bye for now.